I've had some good days and some hills to climb. I've had some weary days and some sleepless nights. But when I look around and I think things over, all of my good days outweigh my bad days, so I won't complain. Although my clouds hang low and I can hardly see the road, I ask the question, Lord, why so much pain? For He knows what's best for me. Although my weary eyes may not see, so I'll just say, thank you, Lord. I won't complain.
Got talent? If so, we want to spotlight you on our show. Send us a DVD or VHS copy of you creatively magnifying and glorifying God. Send it to Love Matters Talk Show, Post Office Box 192, Memphis, Tennessee, zip 38101. Remember, send us a copy because we will not be able to return them to you.
Hello, welcome to Love Matters Talk Show. I'm your host, Inez. Today I am so excited about my guests. They are well sought out. People are trying to get to them, and I'm excited that we got this rare chance to meet with them. They're history makers, and I'm telling you, you have known them for years here in the Mid-South. Today we have with us Pastor Dr. Benjamin Hooks and his wonderful, lovely wife, Frances Hooks. They're going to talk to us today about love matters. Love and marriage matters. They're going to tell us, the methodology to longevity in marriage. Let's get right into it. Hey there, good to have you here.
Thank you very much.
So glad to see you again.
My pleasure.
Again. Well, I want to know, where did the two of you meet?
As children, we had known of each other. Memphis was a very small town in the sense of what they call, I hate to use this word, first families. And she's one of the first families. That means people who were up in the different parties and so forth with it. And so when I came back to practice law, it wasn't long before I met her around here, there, and yonder. But the real meeting occurred one Sunday when I went to the Tri-State Fair, which at that time was the black version of the white fair. Hundreds of thousands of people attended, and she was selling ice cream from a little stand. And I ran into her and talked with her and had a great time and went home. Later on that night, before the sun fell, I brought what I would call my real girlfriend, whose hair was long and slinky. It came down below her waist, and she was dressed to the nines. And we came, and Frances kept hitting me with the ice cream cart. Ice cream, ice cream, ice cream, ice cream. So my girl said, who is that? And I said, that's Frances. I then took my girlfriend home and rushed back, because by that time I knew that Frances was so excited, and she was a beautiful girl. But more than that, there was something about her personality and all that just excited me. And from that day at the Tri-State Fair, from the ice cream cart, we started our courtship. And while I courted here, there, and yonder a little bit, I knew then she was the one.
Well, Mrs. Hooks, tell me, what attracted you to him?
He was just a warm, kind, and a very, very intelligent young man. He was considerate, and he was very interested in the affairs of the community. So I was attracted to that, besides his good looks.
A combination of her intelligence her beauty, her interest, her family, and my family liked her family. They knew her better than I did because Frances and my sister, one of my sisters had gone to school together, Wilberforce. And we had a great time together. We would just meet and talk and laugh, and then we were trying, even back then, to pull together something that would change segregation in this nation.
So very common interests.
Her interest in things, not just superficial things or social things or stylish things, but what is happening in this world. And she still retains that interest.
Oh, that sounds like a Delta woman.
That's what it is.
I know something about that.
Okay, great. New interest.
Okay.
Ah,
She's perky.
yes.
Okay, so now I'd have to ask you the same question. What made you figure out that this is your Boaz?
He was so intelligent and he was involved in the community. He did a lot of things that the average young man that you associated with didn't have an interest in terms of making the city better and making opportunities available for our people. In those days it was segregation, strict segregation. And he was not only that, but he was handsome and he had a car, which I didn't have. And what else, hon?
I was impressed by the work she did and the things that she was concerned with. We had mutual interests. I was active in NAACP, she worked with me. Council Civic Club, she was with me. And then I couldn't type. And in my law practice, she would come in on Saturday, type all my divorce papers and all of my wills and probate.
Not on an electric machine.
And you'd be
old hand, on the old fashioned.
And let me tell you something about one of those old machines. It was shocking. It wouldn't shock you, but you got 5 sheets of paper with carbon. And whenever you made a mistake, you got to erase on each page. And up in the courthouse, they didn't want a sheet with too many erasures on it. You had to erase very carefully. So she had to type. I would hunt and peck. It would take me all day to type one page. But she would type all of my papers, wills and all of that. So that was helpful. And then she helped me organize my files and knew more about how to run my law office than I did. Showed me how to, in the years that we've been married, if I listened to her, I'd been a multi-millionaire. She picked out a home in Washington that I turned down, said I wasn't going to buy it, and she insisted that we buy it. We paid $89,000 for it. If it's worth a dime now, it's worth $2 million. Yeah. In a 12-room house with 6 baths, and I just can't describe it. In New York City, she was able to find an apartment that's worth at least $1 million now. That we got, and everywhere she has been, she's illustrated such business acumen, and I don't know how to describe it. That helped me out a lot.
Tell me, what do you love most about each other? One thing.
I'll let you go.
Well, let me say this. Earlier in my life, I handled so many divorce cases as a young lawyer. I tried as much as I can to keep people together, but sometimes impossible. 2 things that we agreed on. Number one, and I say this to the young people today at my marriage counseling, never, ever go to bed mad. No matter what you had to happen that day, no matter what has gone wrong, somewhere before laying down and going to sleep, get it straight for then. Don't go to bed, because I've read too many times about people who died in their sleep, and what a horrible feeling to wake up knowing that you had a difference before. And so, and the second thing was, so many men don't treat their wives right in public, or vice versa. And I said, Frances, whatever I've done, if I require reprimanding, if I require getting straight, don't do it in front of anybody. Wait till we get home, the 2 of us. And I say that to young people. Don't use bad language on your wife. Don't curse her. Don't. And of course, I've never struck her, not once. Nor did my dad or her dad ever strike their wives. And I was raised in that tradition. You could discuss and argue, disagree, but never physically.